All right, so today we are going to be working on discount, which is marked down, sales tax, and tips. And those are all given to you in percentages. So the success criteria for today is that I can define discount and markdown, sales tax, and tips or gratuities. And then going along with that is that I can solve percent problems related to discounts, sales tax, and tips. So first of all, we need to be able to define these words. A discount, most of us know what that is, the amount saved and subtracted from the original price to get the discounted price, right? This is also known as markdown because it's marked down from the original price. Tax, most of us have dealt with tax before. It's that amount of money that the state adds on. Ours is, I believe, 8.6%. It's different per state. It's even different in some areas of the states. I know in Seattle it's over 9%. So tax on sales is paid to the retailer. You need to add that sales tax to the price of an item to find the total amount that you have to pay for the item. And you guys have probably dealt with that. If something's 99 cents, it's usually not 99 cents. It is $1.08. And then a tip is also an additional amount paid to a person in the service industry for something provided, such as a server at a restaurant or a worker at a salon. Like if you're getting a haircut, you should give a tip. That's also known as a gratuity. So that's something that you give as an extra amount. It goes straight to the person, but it's a percentage of the original price. So let's go through how do we solve those things. This was one of the examples from yesterday or Tuesday. I can't remember when I gave it to you, but I gave this to you, and a lot of you guys got it right. So great job. But I'm still going to go through it again because there was quite a few people that didn't get a chance to do it. So it's the original, or it's the amount saved and subtracted from the original price. So procedure. The rate is given as a percent. You know that. To find the discount, multiply the rate or the percent as a decimal by the original price. And then to find the sales price, subtract the discount from the original price. So let's work through these steps together. In a department store, a $40 dress is marked save 25%. What is the discount? So the whole price of the dress is 40. I'm looking for the part. I know it's 25%. So that's my percent proportion. I find my percent as a decimal and I multiply both sides by the whole, which is 40. So I would get that x is equal to 0.25 times 40. So that's using the percent proportion. That gets us exactly to what this said. Multiply the rate as a decimal by the original price. So multiply the rate as a decimal by the original price, 40. So we can do that, but I'm always looking to set up this percent proportion to see which piece I'm missing and how to solve that. And that goes back to that other part of the lesson from Monday, which there's also a video that I went through on that. So if I multiply this 0.25 times 40, I should get x equals 10. Now, that doesn't mean that the price is 10. That means the discount is 10. So I do have two questions. This is what is the discount? So I would say type out. So the discount is $10. And then it says, what is the sale price of the dress? So the sale price is 40 minus 10. So 40 minus 10, oops, 40 minus 10 is 30. So go back over here. The sale price of the dress is 30. So simple as that. We can use that percent proportion or follow the procedure there. I like using the percent proportion because it's the same setup for every question that you're looking for. All right, so that is discount, or the other word for that was markdown, because it's marked down to a lower price. The next one is sales tax. This one is pretty much the same, except usually we have a decimal percent. Like I mentioned before, our percent sales tax is 8.6% sales tax. It says in California it's 7.25%. The process doesn't change. We're still gonna work it out the same way. So the rate is usually given as a percent. To find the tax, multiply the rate as a decimal by the original price. And then to find the total cost, you add the tax to the original price. So I'm looking for this sales tax, 7.25% in California. Then how much would you pay in Los Angeles, which is in California, for a pair of shoes that costs $39? So the whole cost of the shoes is $39. I'm looking for the tax, which is 7.25%, which is 7.25 over 100. Now this is going to be a weird decimal because when I divide by 100, I'm going to still need to keep these other two decimals here. It's just going to look like a funky decimal, so I'll give it just a sec here. And multiply both sides by 39. And our decimal would be 0.0725. And if you get confused, just go back and use the calculator, because it'll give you that. If you do 7.25 divided by 100, it'll give you exactly that. And then we're going to multiply that by 39. And so our sales tax is equal to the rate as a decimal multiplied by the original price. So now I'm going to go use my calculator and multiply those two, because that's something I definitely don't want to do by hand. If I had to, I could, but I'd rather not. So 39 times 0.0725 equals 2.8275. Two, 7, 5. Okay, so we're dealing with money when we're talking about sales tax. So this is one of the cases where now we're going to need to round. We're going to have to round to the nearest cent. Now it's 82 cents, but my next digit over is 7. So it is going to round up to the next penny. So my sales tax is going to be $2.83. That's not my final answer, because it says, how much would you pay for those shoes that cost $39? So I have to pay $39 plus tax. So now I go back and add those two. So $39 plus plus $2.83. And I would get $41.83. And I always like to write a sentence, so pay dollars and 83 cents for the shoes in. Right, so that's sales tax. So we add that to the original price. So discount, we subtracted it. Sales tax, we add. With tips, that's also going to be added to the original price, given as an extra cost. You usually give that, if somebody did like a really good job, if you're getting your hair done or your nails done or something like that. You usually give tips to those people based on a percent, usually like 10%, 15%, or 20% of whatever you pay. So it's an additional amount. So the procedure is the same. And then we're going to add the tip to the original price. So always set up my percent proportion. The Smith family went to eat at Buffalo Wild Wings. The bill was $43.86. So the total bill, the whole bill, $43.86. They gave the server a 15% tip, so they gave 15 over 100. So it's 15%. I'm looking for the part, the tip that they gave out of that total amount. So, same thing I always do. I'm going to multiply both sides. Now, in this case, the bill was had some decimals, which is fine. I'm still going to multiply both sides by that. So 43.86, 43.86. But now I got to convert that to my decimal. I'm going to put parentheses since there's already a decimal. I don't want to get confused. So the tip is going to be equal to the rate times multiplied by the original price. So 15% times 43.86. That's another one I'm going to do in my calculator because that's not something I want to multiply by hand. So I'm going to do 0.15 times 43.86 equals, this is 6.579. So I'm going to write that all down. 6.579. Now, just like the last one, this has more decimal places than dollars and cents, so I'm going to have to round. So this is 57 cents, but my next digit is 9, so I'm going to round up to the next cent, which is 58 cents. So my tip is going to be $6.58. Now this is where some addition comes in. So we're practicing a lot of different skills with this one. So we're going to add 658 plus 43.86 plus 658. And I got 5044. I'm going to double check because I want to. make sure I didn't make a mistake on this long video. 4386 plus 658 equals 5044. Hey, I didn't make a mistake. So my total price after I tipped was what was the cost of the tip? How much did they pay altogether? Okay, so I answered both. The tip is $6 and cents. The total bill is $50.44. So hopefully that's making some sense. It's all based on percents. All of these are still actually finding the part, so it's pretty easy. The struggles that we had the other day was finding the whole and then finding the percent. But we need to know these because there's going to be some questions that says the total bill was this. They gave a 15%, or they gave 15%. What was the cost of their meal? So there's times where we're going to have to be working backwards to solve for the different parts. So hopefully that's making some sense. As always, you can email if you have questions. There is a sheet. These questions are on that sheet, so you can copy those down. So you have some examples that you can go off of. But there's about 4 or 5 questions for each of these. So discount, you got some practice. Tax, you're going to have some practice. Tip and gratuity, you're going to have some practice. So you have a couple days to do that. You have Thursday and Friday to be working on this. You have all that time to be emailing me, asking me questions as well. So hopefully it's making sense. And then you'll let me know if you have any issues.